Gauge chart, also referred to as a speedometer chart or dial chart, saves the day when it comes to comparing KPIs or business results against a stated goal or a benchmark. However, in Tableau, there is no ready-made solution to offer for such a chart. So in today's tutorial, I am going to show you how to create a gauge chart from scratch. So without any further delays, let's get started. This is Gurpreet from DataViz Canvas, and in today's tutorial we are going to learn about how to create a gauge chart from scratch. So as you can see in this dashboard, we are showing the sales by product subcategory, which is relative to each other, and we are showing their percentage in relative comparison to each other. So we can select from this parameter value any subcategory, and it tells us the percentage sales of that subcategory in comparison to the maximum sales in any other subcategory. So for example, bookcase is showing 34.8% of sale, whereas if I change it to chairs, it's showing 99.5% of sales in comparison to the topmost category. So in this case, I believe like phone is contributing to maximum number of sales, so it's 100 percentile. But when we change it to other categories, it is giving us the relative sales, so 34.8% in comparison to phone sales in Sample Superstore dataset. And how to plot it basically. So in this scenario, we are using the background image, which is in the form of a speedometer or a radial or a semicircle background. And we are basically plotting this line, which is going in left or right direction based on the percentage selected. So in order to create this, we have to make sure we plot the points on the outer circumference of the semicircle. So each of these sections from left hand side to the right hand side, it's basically from 0 degree to 180 degree. So we are plotting these points on the circumference by finding x and y coordinates. So once we create that, we are just creating a straight line from that particular point to the center of the semicircle. So let's see how we can do that. So let's open a blank workbook, and in that I am connected to Sample Superstore dataset. So first of all, I just want to show you how we are calculating the percentile in terms of sales and subcategories. So first of all, I will bring subcategory into row shelf, and then I will bring sales into text mark. I will just simply change it to bar chart and do it in descending order, and I will show the mark label, so it will show us the number of sales in each of these subcategory. And you can see here phones have maximum number of sales, but I want to show the percentile, or you can say sales by subcategory relative to one another. So phone is the category subcategory with maximum number of sales, so I will give it 100 percentile, and accordingly I will change the percentile of all these subcategories. So for that I need to create a calculated field, and I can say sales percentage, and in this case I will simply create a calculation as sum of sales. Then I will divide it by Windows sum, Windows maximum, because I want the maximum value of the sum of sales. So this will give me a percentile of sales. So I click OK, and let me drag it to the labels, and you will see it as 100 percentile, 99.53 percentile. So I will change the format to percentage, and that will make more sense. So what I was showing you before in the other gauge chart, it's similar to that thing. So phone is showing 100 percentile and furniture is showing 27.8 percentile. So that's how we are going to plot it on the gauge chart. So once we have that sales percentage configured, now I need to create a x-axis. So x-axis for the points on the circumference of semicircle. So how to create that? So I will simply write a formula here. X-axis is equal to 1 plus square root of 2, and I'm going to multiply it by cos of 1 minus sales percentage. I will show you in a second how I created this one. And then I'm going to multiply it by 180, and then I'm going to multiply it by pi divided by 180, and then I will close the bracket. So that's my x-axis, and let me create my y-axis as well, and then I will explain how I created this formula. So in terms of y-axis, it's again similar, 1 plus square root of 2 into sine of sales percentage, and I'm gonna multiply it by 180, and then I'm gonna multiply it by pi divided by 180 and close the bracket. I guess there is extra bracket here, we don't need that, so that makes sense. So how I created this formula, so let's get into that first. So for this we need to understand the equation of circle, quadratic equation of circle. So it's basically x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square, where x and y are the point on the circumference of the circle, as you can see here, and h and k are the center of the circle, and r is the radius. So if we look at this particular triangle, which is nothing but this one, and we say the h and k are basically 0 and 0 as a center point, and x and y are the coordinates on the circumference, and r is the radius. So sine of theta, which is this angle, is equal to O by A, in which in this case equal to y by x, y by r, sorry. And so using this formula, so y is equal to r sine theta, and similarly x is equal to r cos theta. So same formula, we are using it in there, but considering our center point is h and k is 0 and 0. If we say our center point is 1, 1, then y-axis will be nothing but it will be 1 plus r sine theta, and x will be 1 plus r cos theta. So that's what we are using in this example. So if we go back to this calculation, we are using 1 as the center point, 1, 1 as the origin. So we are saying x equal to 1 plus r into cos theta. So if I do it this way, equal to, I will use it as a command, 1 plus r cos theta. So I will use just ampersand in this case to give you an example. So 1 is nothing but the center, so we are adding that into our formula. And in this case r, we are using this value as a square root of 2. So you can use it any other value. So if we go into the example again, so here I am saying my x-axis and y-axis, these are 1 and 1, and this value will be under root 2. So if you want to use other values, you can use that as well, but in this case I am using r as under root 2. And once I do that, then cos of theta. So theta in this case, the angle, I am saying that angle is nothing but 1 minus sine of sales percentage. So sales percentage, wherever we are saying it's 20% or 30%, then 1 minus 30% is 70%. So it's just giving the other angle. And because this angle is in percentage, I want to multiply it by 180 to give that value in the range in terms of degrees, because we are showing the value from 0 degrees. So if we look in this dashboard, so this is the point on a 0 degree, and it's going till the other side, which is 180 degrees. So I am just multiplying that sales value with 180 to make sure that it's the same proportion as of 180 degrees or any particular angle from 0 to 180 degree. And because it is in degrees, I want to convert it into radians. So then I am multiplying it by pi divided by 180 to convert that angle into radians. So that's how I created the x-axis. And similarly, I created the y-axis, which is nothing but 1 plus square root into sine of that angle. So I did the same thing here. So that's how I created the x-axis and y-axis. So now we have created that. I will go to another sheet and I will simply bring x-axis onto the column shelf and y-axis to the row shelf. And I will bring subcategory into detail marks, and I will right click on these x-axis and y-axis and will select compute using subcategory, and we'll do the same thing for y-axis. And then you will see all of these values are placed in a semicircle from left hand side of the semicircle to the right hand side, showing the actual percentage values. So they are all positioned from left to right, lowest to highest sales on the circumference of the semicircle. So once we have created that, we want a single point for each of these subcategories. To do this, we need to create a parameter to identify a specific point we want to show. So we create a parameter called subcategory parameter, and I will just right click on subcategory and go to create a parameter. So once that parameter is created, I will simply click OK. Then I need to tie our x and y coordinates to this parameter to only show a single point. So for that, we have to modify our x and y axis slightly. So what I will do here, I will simply go and type in if statement, sorry, not date def. So I will use if statement and I will create an attribute for subcategory, and I will say if that attribute of subcategory is equal to subcategory parameter, then give me this value which is at the bottom, and else give me 1. So what it does is, in addition to showing the coordinates of the selected subcategory, which are these points, we need to also fix the origin point. In this case, we are saying it should be 1, 1. So for our x-axis, this will return 1 for all other categories which are not equal to the parameter subcategory. So this places all the points which are not tied to the parameter at the origin point, which is 1, 1. So now let's do the same thing for our y-axis, and you will see the chart is changing right now, which is normal. So I will create the same thing here, and I will create an attribute where I will write the same thing, subcategory equal to subcategory of parameter, and then I will use this formula, and for all other values I will use 1, and then we press OK. So now you will see there is just these 2 dots, and in order to do that I will just change it to line, and you will see these are connected together. And I will simply show the subcategory parameter as show parameter, and if I change, you will see this line starts to change, which is fine. So now I want to change the axis. So in this case, I will simply select axis from 1 to 2.5. So let me edit the axis. So once this thing comes up, I will update the axis. Yep, here you go. So I will fix the axis from 1 to 2.5. Okay, so these values I have checked before. If you are using different values in the x and y coordinate, you have to adjust these axis values. So in terms of x-axis, I will change it from -0.5 to 2.5. This is because I have used the center of the circle, a region you can say, as 1, 1. So that's why I have to change these values to x-axis to 0.5 as a starting point to 2.5 as an endpoint. So I will click OK, and now I need to bring the background image. So what I will do, I will simply go to Map, Background Images, Sample Superstore. I will add an image and I will browse for the image so you can download it from internet. So I have already downloaded the image of background image of Speedometer in this case, and x-axis I will change it to -0.5 and right side will be 2.5, and for y-axis I will be doing 1 and 2.5, and I will apply that. And once I click here, I'm unable to see that one. So let's check why it is not coming through. So see, it's at the bottom side, so it's not correctly placed. So I will edit the axis and double check firstly why is it like that. So we have the y-axis from 1 to 2.5, which is from here to here, and x-axis is from -0.5 to 2.5, which is not coming correctly. So let's check that. Edit axis, and in the meanwhile, so it's changed. So x-axis is from -0.5 to 2.5, which is okay, and this is from 1 to 2.5. Let's go back to image, background image, and check that image again. See, so this top value is changed, it's 2.5. Something is not working right here. So these values, press OK. Yeah, here you go. It's coming. This looks better. And I have to change the y-axis again because it's not working correctly here. So it is fine actually. From now, actually, y-axis should be from 1 to 2.5. So we have to change it to 1. And 2.5. That's much better. Let me do the entire view, and you can see it's working fine. And now we can go to the dashboard, and I can increase the size here, and we'll make it, and I will bring this in here, and we can see it's a little bit cut from here. So yeah, here you go. So it looks much better. And in the map option, we can go, we select this and we go to map options, and I don't want to zoom in and zoom out. I will remove all these controls from here. So to make it nice and clean, then I will go and do a bit of formatting here. I don't want to show any zero lines, and I don't want to show any headers here. So I can remove these headers, and we have a parameter category here where you can go and select. So right now this axis changes because of an animation, so I can go to format and change the animation because I don't want the animation at all. So bear with me, my system is a bit slow. So once it pops up, we will just remove the animation from here and turn it off. And also I want to show here the percentage. Like whenever we select any of these appliances, I want to show percentage on the top. So how we can do that? So I will go to the sheet again, and I will create a dual axis on y-axis, and I will click that and change the dual axis, and then I need to synchronize the axis. Once I do that, I will just hide the headers, and I will go to the second value of y-axis, and I will bring the sales percentage into the labels, and instead of a line I will change it to, let's say, a circle, and I will decrease the size of the circle and change the value into percentage by going to format and format the numbers to percentage. And here you go. Let's keep it to 1 decimal point and increase the size to 16. Let's say you can adjust the way you want it, so you can see it from here. Whenever you change it, that percentage is appearing at the top, and you can do more adjustment in terms of alignment and make it at the top, so it will look a bit better. So that's how easy is it to create a gauge chart or a speedometer chart in Tableau. I hope you guys enjoyed this session, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message or a comment in the section below. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.